There is a place on Earth where evolution took a different path. An island so isolated that for 20 million years, life evolved without interference, without contact, without compromise. 307 plant species exist here and nowhere else on Earth. 90% of its reptiles are endemic. 95% of its land snails are unique to this one archipelago. This is a biological treasure chest sealed by time and geography, a living museum of evolution frozen at the crossroads of 3 continents. This is Socotra, and it may be the most alien place you've never heard of. 380 kilometers south of the Arabian Peninsula, 240 kilometers east of the Horn of Africa, where the Arabian Sea meets the Indian Ocean, for islands rise from waters that have kept the world at bay for millennia. The Socotra Archipelago, 4 volcanic limestone islands that emerged from the sea floor 20 million years ago when the supercontinent Gondwana fractured apart. As Africa separated from Arabia, these fragments remain isolated, adrift in one of the world's most inhospitable maritime regions. For 6 months every year, monsoon winds turn these waters into a maelstrom. Wind speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour, waves that swallow ships. For centuries, Socotra was unreachable half the year. Ancient mariners called it the island at the end of the world. The main island stretches 132 kilometers east to west. At its heart, the Highland Mountains rise to 1,525 meters, capturing moisture from passing clouds and creating microclimates that allowed life to flourish in extraordinary ways. But isolation is a double-edged sword. It protects and it imprisons. For the life that evolved here, there was no escape, no migration, no genetic exchange with the outside world. Adapt or perish, and adapt it did. (1,400 meters above sea level). The Dixum Plateau. Here grows the densest concentration of Socotra's most iconic resident, Dracaena cinnamomum, the dragon blood tree. Its shape isn't decorative. Its survival architecture perfected over millions of years. The dense, umbrella crown acts as a fog collector. At night, when temperatures drop and moisture condenses in these highlands, the canopy captures water droplets. They run down the waxy leaves, along the branches, into the trunk, and down to roots that spread wide across the limestone bedrock. In a landscape where annual rainfall barely reaches 200 millimeters, this design means life or death. The canopy also creates shade. Beneath each tree, the ground retains moisture longer. Other plants take refuge. A micro-ecosystem forms around each dragon blood tree. But it's the blood that made this tree legendary. When wounded, the tree bleeds, a dark red resin that hardens on contact with air. For over 3,000 years, humans have harvested this resin. Ancient Egyptians used it in mummification. Romans paid gold for it. Today, it's still harvested sustainably by Socotri families, used in traditional medicine, as varnish for wooden instruments, and as a pigment for dyes. Scientists estimate these trees can live 600 years or more. The oldest specimens standing today were saplings when the Ottoman Empire ruled the seas. But regeneration is failing. Climate change is altering rainfall patterns. The goats that locals depend on eat young saplings. And dragon blood trees grow slowly. A tree might take 30 years to reach maturity. The forests that stand today may be the last generation, unless something changes. But the dragon blood tree is just the beginning. The desert rose, Adenium obesum socotranum. Its grotesquely swollen trunk can store up to 300 liters of water, a biological reservoir that allows it to survive months without rain. And when conditions are right, it explodes into bloom. defiant pink flowers against a landscape of stone. Dendrocysseos socotranus, the Socotran cucumber tree, the only tree-form cucumber in the world, 8 meters tall with spiny trunk and branches. It exists nowhere else, not in cultivation, not in any botanical garden outside Socotra. Only here. Dorstenia gigas, a succulent that grows directly from vertical cliff faces, roots penetrating solid limestone. Boswellia elongata, one of 10 frankincense species endemic to Socotra, their resin once worth more than gold on ancient trade routes. Out of 825 documented plant species on Socotra, 307 are endemic. That's 37%. For comparison, the Galapagos Islands, Darwin's living laboratory, has 32% plant endemism. Socotra has higher plant endemism than the Galapagos, higher than Madagascar, higher than Hawaii. It is, by any measure, one of the most important botanical sites on Earth. But plants are only part of the story. 10 endemic bird species. The Socotra starling, whose plumage shifts from blue to purple in sunlight. The Socotra sunbird, found only in highland wadis. The Socotra cisticola, whose song echoes through the grasslands. 31 reptile species, 90% endemic. Lizards that have adapted to climb smooth dragon blood tree trunks. Geckos with adhesive toe pads evolved for limestone cliffs. And in the leaf litter, on tree bark, in the sand itself, land snails. 100 species, 95% found nowhere else on Earth. This isn't just an island. It's an evolutionary laboratory that's been running an experiment for 20 million years. And every habitat tells a different chapter of that story. The northwestern coast, Calancia, 5 kilometers of powder white sand meeting water so clear it barely seems real. The water temperature holds steady at 26 to 28 degrees Celsius year-round. Perfect conditions for marine biodiversity. The waters around Socotra host over 253 species of reef-building corals, 730 species of coastal fish, and 300 species of crab and lobster. Dolphins patrol these coasts. Whale sharks pass through during migration. Sea turtles nest on beaches that have never seen a hotel. And that's what makes Calancia extraordinary. In a world where every beautiful beach has been developed, where coastlines are armored with resorts and beach clubs, Calancia remains untouched. The only footprints belong to fishermen using methods unchanged for generations. Hand-woven nets, wooden boats built without plans, knowledge passed from father to son. 16 kilometers west, the coast transforms. Detwa Lagoon, protected from the open ocean by a natural white sand barrier, this lagoon glows with a color that seems chemically impossible. The turquoise comes from the limestone sediment suspended in shallow water, reflecting sunlight. The depth rarely exceeds 2 meters across the entire 3-kilometer lagoon. At dawn, it's molten silver. By midday, electric blue. At sunset, it shifts through pink, orange, and purple before fading to deep indigo. Behind it, the Highland Mountains rise like ancient guardians, their limestone peaks scarred by millennia of erosion. During migration season, the lagoon becomes a way station. Flamingos wade in the shallows. Herons stalk the edges. Species traveling between Africa and Asia pause here to rest. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most beautiful places on Earth, and almost no one knows it exists. The spine of Socotra rises 1,525 meters above sea level. The Highland Mountains, a limestone fortress carved by 20 million years of wind, water, and tectonic pressure. These mountains are ancient seabed pushed upward. limestone formed from millions of years of accumulated marine organisms, compressed and raised by geological forces. Walk these trails, and you're walking on the remains of prehistoric oceans. But the mountains do more than stand. They create weather. When moisture-laden winds hit these peaks, they're forced upward. Air cools, clouds form, rain falls on the windward slopes. This creates vertical ecological zones. Every 200 meters of elevation is a different world. Different rainfall, different temperature, different species. 840 meters above sea level. Hom Hill Protected Area, one of the most concentrated dragon blood tree forests on the island. Over 800 trees clustered on this single plateau. Walk among them at dawn, and the world becomes alien. Mist clings to branches. Silence is absolute except for wind and distant bird calls. At the plateau's edge, natural limestone pools hold rainwater year-round. Infinity pools carved by nature. Water so clear you can see every pebble on the bottom. Stand here and you can see 50 kilometers in every direction. Mountains folding into valleys. Valleys descending to coastal plains. The ocean stretching to the horizon. Below the highlands, water has carved secrets into stone. A Haft Canyon, cut by flash floods over millions of years. In places, the walls tower 30 meters high while standing only 2 meters apart. Light filters through the gap above, creating otherworldly illumination. Then the canyon opens into vast chambers where erosion has created sculptures, arches, overhangs, caves within caves. Every surface is polished smooth by water. Every curve tells a story of flash floods that roar through these canyons during rare rainstorms. And everywhere, life finding purchase. Fig trees growing from cliff faces, succulents rooted in hairline cracks, ferns drinking mist. In Socotra, even the impossible is merely improbable. The northeastern mountains hold Socotra's deepest secret, Hawk Cave, the island's largest known cave system. The entrance sits 250 meters above sea level. From here, the cave plunges nearly 3 kilometers into the mountain. The journey down takes hours, through narrow passages, over collapsed boulders, through chambers so vast you can't see the ceiling. The main chamber is a geological cathedral. Stalactites 10 meters long hang from ceilings 30 meters high. These formations grow at roughly 1 centimeter per century. A stalactite 5 meters long has been growing for 50,000 years. Where stalactite meets stalagmite, columns form, natural pillars that have supported this mountain for millennia. But humans have known this cave for far longer than modern science. But Socotra is not empty. 60,000 people call these islands home. The Socotri people, whose ancestors arrived over 2,000 years ago. They build homes from the island itself. Limestone blocks, coral from the shore, palm wood for beams, methods unchanged for centuries. They speak Socotri, a Semitic language descended from the ancient languages of southern Arabia, predating Arabic by centuries. There is no written form. Everything is oral. History, poetry, plant knowledge, navigation, all pass through generations by voice and memory. Linguists consider Socotri one of the most important surviving pre-Islamic Arabian languages. UNESCO has classified it as endangered. When the last generation of fluent speakers dies, 2,000 years of linguistic heritage dies with them. The Socotri economy has always been linked to the sea, fishing using techniques that would be recognizable to their great-great-grandfathers. Reading the water, reading the weather, knowledge that no book contains. Tuna, grouper, kingfish, the ocean still provides as it has for millennia. Inland, they keep goats, hardy breeds adapted to browse on plants toxic to most livestock. These goats eat desert roses, euphorbia, even dragon blood tree seedlings. They survive on forage that would kill domesticated breeds. In the few wadis where water flows year-round, they cultivate date palms, tiny agricultural plots carved from stone, irrigated with precision by generations of knowledge. They harvest frankincense from gnarled boswellia trees, dragon's blood resin from ancient trees, resources their ancestors traded along maritime routes connecting Africa, Arabia, and India. Women weave textiles from locally grown cotton, patterns that identify family lineages, colors from island plants. Their relationship with this island isn't romantic, it's intimate, born from necessity. They know which plants heal wounds, which stop infections, which ease pain, which cause visions, which kill. They read weather in cloud formations, navigate by stars their ancestors named, predict storms by wind direction and bird behavior. Their children grow up speaking to the island in ways outsiders never can. But the modern world is arriving. Planes land now. Tourists come. Internet signals reach the coast. The young speak Arabic, dream of opportunities beyond the island. And the elders watch, wondering what will remain when the old ways are forgotten. They are guardians of a paradise they never asked to share. For 20 million years, Socotra evolved in isolation. That isolation is ending. Rainfall patterns are shifting. The predictable monsoons that have sustained life here for millennia are becoming erratic. Some years bring floods, others, drought. The plants, evolved for consistency, struggle with variability. Dragon blood trees are failing to regenerate. Seedlings need specific conditions: shade, moisture, protection from grazing. Goats, essential to human survival on the island, eat the seedlings. The balance that held for centuries is tipping. Researchers estimate that without intervention, dragon blood trees could decline by 45% in the next 50 years. Even in this remote corner of the world, plastic arrives on currents. Bottles from Arabia, bags from Africa, fishing nets from Asia. The ocean connects everything. Nothing is truly isolated anymore. Tourism is growing, not explosively but steadily. In 2010, fewer than 1,000 tourists visited annually. By 2019, that number reached 10,000. A trickle, not a flood, but the trend is clear. Infrastructure follows. Ghost houses, tour operators, roads reaching previously inaccessible areas. But the Socotri people understand what's at stake. In 2008, UNESCO designated Socotra a World Heritage Site, recognizing both its extraordinary biodiversity and its vulnerability. Protected areas now cover over 75% of the island. The Hom Hill Protected Area, Dixam, Skund, Detwa, zones where development is restricted and access is controlled. Nurseries are cultivating dragon blood trees, protecting seedlings until they're large enough to survive grazing, replanting forests that have declined. Education programs teach children about their unique heritage. Tourism is being channeled towards sustainability, small scale, low impact, guided by locals who understand the ecosystem. Marine protected areas preserve coral reefs and fish populations, ensuring the ocean that has sustained the Socotri for millennia continues to provide. In a world of 8 billion people, where every wilderness shrinks daily, where maps have no blank spaces left, Socotra stands as evidence. Evidence that isolation creates diversity, that time, given space, produces wonders, that humans can still choose harmony over exploitation. This island isn't just a collection of rare species. It's a message. A message that wildness can endure, that patience creates beauty beyond human comprehension, that cultures adapted to their environment hold wisdom we're only beginning to understand, that evolution is not a relic of the past but a process still unfolding, still creating, still capable of producing things the world has never seen. Socotra exists in defiance of the modern world's trajectory. It whispers that not everything needs to be tamed, not every place needs roads, not every landscape needs development, that sometimes the greatest human achievement is knowing when to leave something alone. The dragon blood trees that stand today have survived Cyclone Makunu in 2018. They've survived droughts and floods. They've survived human presence for 2 millennia. They've survived because the people who lived alongside them understood restraint. The question now is whether the rest of us can learn that same lesson, whether we can visit without destroying, witness without taking, appreciate without consuming. Because once Socotra is lost, it's lost forever. You cannot recreate 20 million years of evolution. You cannot rebuild ecosystems this complex. You cannot resurrect languages that die with their last speakers. This island is not renewable, but it is, for now, still here, still standing at the crossroads of 3 continents, still bleeding crimson when wounded, still blooming pink against impossible odds, still speaking a language older than empires, still reminding us that Earth is capable of creating places that feel like they belong to another world entirely. Socotra, the lost world, not lost to time, not lost to geography, but lost to most of humanity, which has never stopped to notice that in the space between Africa and Arabia, between past and future, between possible and impossible, there exists an island where trees still bleed, where mountains remember when they were oceans, where people speak in languages that have no alphabet, where evolution's experiment continues, unfinished, uncompromising, and utterly unique. And perhaps that's exactly as it should be. Some places aren't meant to be found by everyone. Some secrets are worth keeping. Socotra was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. Over 37% of its 825 plant species are found nowhere else on Earth. The island remains one of the most isolated and pristine ecosystems on the planet. But for how long depends entirely on the choices we make today.